Hi. So I thought I would come on here and clear something up real quick. Some of you may know that about a year ago I changed my name to Casper. Well, I went through another name change recently and thought I would let you guys know so we're all on the same page. From now on, I'm going to be going by the name Reagan, or Ray. I'm not sure how long this will last, but I just wanted you to know so everyone could be, all of us could be aware of it and all that good stuff. Okay, now that we're done with that, enjoy the video. Hey, how are you? In my last video, I said I would start posting every 2 months, and I already broke that promise. I'm so sorry. I'm really bad at this. Anyways, I wanted to make this video for a really long time now, and I'm glad I finally have the chance to execute it. Last year, I was having a rough day, just a lot of stuff was going on, and to cope, I decided to make a very self-indulgent comfort magical girl character, and I kind of went overboard and made a whole team and a whole story with the help of one of my friends, and here we are. So, over the past few months, I have been constructing this magical girl team, and I'm so excited to finally show them to you. So, without further ado, let me introduce my magical girls. Well, more like magical fighter team, because only like 2 of them are girls. Starting us off is our protagonist. Darcy is our first girl. Darcy's pronouns are she, her, and she's a trans girl. She is 18 years old in her last year of high school. I can talk. Darcy is one hella smart girl. The classic straight A student, if you will. Like those kids who were like smart and you didn't know how and you would go to them for help with like your math homework. I know I knew a few of those kids in middle school and I would go to them for help. But she's not like a straight A student because she has to be or anything like that. Like her parents are like super pushy. Like no, she's actually quite the opposite. Darcy's a fairly shy girl. She doesn't speak up if she doesn't need to. She keeps to herself for the most part. She doesn't get involved with anything she isn't already a part of. She just is very closed off. She's very introverted and really wants to make friends, but finds it difficult with her whole persona of being like the top of her school because everyone's like, oh, she's like the worst and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Because, you know, a lot of people will assume she's like snotty or rude when she's actually a huge manga nerd who's just the sweetest. Darcy lives with her dad, and she is an only child. Darcy's mom is completely out of the picture, just not here. And there's a reason for that. The good old unsupportive parents. I like to pull that card in my own stories. While Darcy was transitioning, her mother was very cold and hostile and not very supportive for her and wasn't really there for her transition. So now she lives with her dad. And he's just the nicest guy. They have a great relationship. He got her all of her stuff to help her transition. Darcy being trans is very important to her story, so I like to bring it up a lot. On the side of this drawing, you will see a weapon. That will be on everyone's. So Darcy's weapon of choice is a bow and arrow. I'm not entirely sure why I decided this. I feel like she just gave off those vibes. Some little extra things about her. She struggles with OCD, and this comes to play in her daily life. And here's just like some random stuff. She had a personality switch when I first wrote her. She used to be like super timid and like not wanting to talk to anyone, but now she is less timid, which is good. You know, still keeping that introverted side of her. I stated this before, but she is a massive manga nerd and would rather read manga than do anything else in her free time, besides hanging out with her friends and being a magical fighter. She's at Barnes & Noble every weekend, and she drags her friends along with her, don't you worry. As for her design slots, she has a total of 3. I gave her a slot for her school uniform, casual outfit, and her magical girl outfit. A little, trivia thing for her school outfit, I actually made the stripes and everything that's white on her outfit, I made it pink, because I'm either thinking, 1, she didn't like the white and she thought it went well with her magical girl design, or 2, she put her uniform in with her reds and it dyed her outfit pink. I just think she would totally do that. Only 2 of the other magical fighter people do not have like school outfits, and I will explain why when I get to that character specifically. I played around with, design-wise, I played around with the color of the sweater. The bow wasn't an entirely, like, set thing for a while, until recently. I was really excited that I got to design a schoolgirl outfit, and I really like the ones I chose. Yeah. I played around with the color of the skirt for a while. I thought that I didn't want to make it, like, blue, but I ended up just making it blue. As for her civilian design, she keeps her white socks, and her skirt for her, civilian design, just because I thought it fit her well. I just thought it was cute. Also, can we talk about Darcy with a ponytail? Mwah. I thought about keeping that for her design, just, like, having her with a ponytail, but I had drawn her with her hair down for so long, that I just, like, couldn't see it like that, you know? As for her old design, I'm going to talk about their old designs a little bit. You'll see them pop up on screen when I start talking about them. But her old design, her eyes actually used to be purple. They are not purple anymore. I don't know why I decided that. Her colors actually used to be a lot more muted and dark, and her hair was really curly. But her colors specifically, I didn't think I was going to make a whole team, so I gave her 2 really random colors. It ended up being pink and green. But anyways, I'm getting sidetracked. Here's Darcy. Next up is Cassandra or Cass. You'll hear me call them both. I kind of switch it up sometimes. Yeah. Cass's pronouns are they, she, and she is non-binary. Cass is 18 but doesn't go to the same school as Darcy because she's actually homeschooled. They're very much like the lone wolf type when it comes to like magical girl fighting, and also in general, just because that's how they roll. She's very quiet and doesn't really like people. She very much likes to keep to herself. She's been by herself and everything ever since she was about like 14 years old, and there's a reason for that, but I think I'm going to save that for another time. Cassandra's been through a lot in her life, so they're very closed off and not open to the idea of getting close to people. Cassandra's family life is something I'm not sure I want to get into, just in case it becomes a really big spoiler in the endgame of the story. All you need to know really about them is Cass was a magical fighter before Darcy was, and was working with another fighter at the time. I have who they were working with all planned out, but I'm not going to get into that in this particular video. Just, I want to introduce her in a different video, so. A lot of Cassandra's character can't really be talked about here without just fully spilling all of her lore completely. And, you know, it's fine. I'm not mad. It's not like I'm super proud of her writing or anything. I'll just go cry or something. I don't know. I think I might just make a whole video on Cass at some point in the future. Maybe an animatic, or something along those lines. I'm not sure. But I promise it'll all make sense at some point in time. I'm not sure when that will be. I'm not sure if it's soon, later. I don't know. But it'll make sense. But here is what I can give you. Cass and Darcy met on the battlefield, but they didn't start fighting together right away. It took quite a bit of time to convince Cass to join the team for the aforementioned reason of being afraid of getting attached to people. That's just how they roll. I don't know why I wrote this in my script, but they run solely on iced coffee and Sprite, I think is accurate enough to keep it in here. For their weapon, I chose dual guns. Like really long guns. The whole reason I chose these as her weapons is because I think it would be sick as hell to see her fight with like long ass guns and like bam bam like pop out of her skirt. Like, oh my god, that would be so cool. I took a lot of inspiration from Mommy from Madoka Magica for her whole fighting style and her weapon. I think they would be very graceful in the way that they use their guns. I don't really have any additional information that won't spill anything. I'm sorry, you're not getting much for them, but just know her lore is my favorite, and it was such a blast to write. I got a lot of help from the aforementioned friend, and I really like her lore, and I'm very excited for you to hear about it. As for, like, her old design and, like, design now, I played with her hair color for a really long time. I wanted it to be blonde, but I thought it would be cooler to have her brown hair fade into blonde. when she transforms. So I was like, I'll put like blonde, like in her roots, so like it grows out, and like, oh, I'm so excited. Her color palette definitely needs work. A lot of these designs and like colors need work, but for now it just needs to be finished. Here is her old design. Ew, gross, I hate it. I basically kept nothing from her design, besides like maybe like the front two pieces being longer. She was just like this basic emo bitch. Like, I can't stand looking at it. Get it away from me. Eli is next, or Elias. Eli is fine. Eli is 17 and uses they, he, she pronouns. She is very hyper, and you really can't quiet them. They're very off the walls. A lot of my friends told me that they are reminded of me when they read about Eli, and I can't be more complimented in that aspect, because I loved writing Eli. I love him. He's so funny. Eli is a massive goofball and the life of the party of the group. It's I love them. I could gush about Eli for literally days and never get bored. Him and Darcy have been friends for years before this, but it was just a plus that they got the opportunity to work together as magical fighters. It just made them stronger. Eli was the second one to join the group, and her and Darcy worked together perfectly. When I say second, I mean like Darcy was first, Eli was second. I just think like it'd be cool. Their love language is definitely giving gifts, because everyone in the group gets a new gift every time the team meets up, like little trinkets or like rocks. Eli goes to the same school as Darcy, and they go to each other for everything. They've got each other's backs in all things, classes, friends, anything. If you couldn't tell already, the two are very close. Eli is a huge extrovert and likes to help Darcy make friends. She's very much the class clown type of person, but not like those annoying class clowns, if you know what I'm talking about. Like, they're very just, they can tone it down. While they may come off as very happy and chipper, they actually deal with a pretty hard home life. Eli is not that great at anything at school, school related at least, and because of this, they have frequent fights with their mom about that, and his mom is not the best and isn't home very often, so Eli is left to take care of his three siblings all by himself. It's a lot of pressure, but she knows how to handle it. Anyways, he's very light on his feet when he fights, so he's kind of all over the place in battle. He can jump from place to place with his really big shoes. His weapon of choice is star bombs, and I like to imagine that they also listen to Star Bomb. I just think I'm funny. I really wanted to write a kind of like trigger-happy fighter, and I took Eli as the perfect opportunity to do so. I took the personality of Jinx from League of Legends. I don't feel good saying that, but I took it and I toned it down like 10 notches. I feel like there is a character who's like that. I don't know, maybe Power from Chainsaw Man. My only design notes is that I thought I had a set design a while back, ended up not liking it because I felt like it was too feminine for him. I just feel like he would want to be more masculine, knowing who she is. I feel like he would want to be more masculine. In the magical girl or the magical fighter design aspect, if that makes sense. As for her old design, let's just throw it away. Let's just leave it. Let's just throw it away. It can go away now. Bye. I feel like the only thing I kept was like the fluff of the hair, and even then it's not like, it's less fluffy. I hate their old design a lot. Our second to last is Faye. Faye is 21 and uses they, them pronouns. Faye is out of school and a college dropout, and they are the beloved. You'd think, like, I know a lot of people think, like, oh, if you're a college dropout, like, you're a failure, but Faye is actually doing pretty good in life. Faye is a massive flirt that could kill you with a wink. Their personality reminds me a lot of Howl from Howl's Moving Castle. Which is what their transformation outfit is based off of, actually. I took the jacket on the shoulders, and I was like, oh my god, I love that. I'm going to use that in their design, because I feel like they would want to look like Howl even when they're transformed, to kind of have that aspect, you know? I don't know if that makes sense, but we'll go with it. Faye was also a magical fighter before Darcy, but unlike Cass, they were very open to working with the team. They were like, yeah, let's go fight people, let's go kill people, woo, I'm here for it, I'm down, let's go. They are also a massive goofball, and they get along really well with Eli in that aspect. They can just kind of crack jokes, and just have a good time. Faye's favorite pastime is teasing Cassandra about anything and everything. It's all lighthearted fun, of course, but I'm sure Faye has been punched in the face because of it. It's definitely that sibling energy. They definitely have that sibling energy that I have with some of my friends where, like, we know we're joking, but it's like, I will hit you, you know? Faye and Darcy bond over being manga nerds, and they love to recommend shows to each other, things like mangas. They go to Barnes & Noble together. All of the good things. Faye is just very easy to talk to, and it's just, they're so fun. Their home life is actually pretty boring for the most part. I think I wrote it I kind of just spewed it. There's not really a rhyme or reason for it. I kind of just, they have a roommate named Odia, who they've lived with for about 2 years, but Odia is for a different video. When they were living at home, they were living with their dad, and the two of them were best friends, like, super close, no issues, all great and dandy. That was until Faye's dad got really sick and passed away when Faye was 18. It broke their heart and kind of fucked them up for a bit, but they came back stronger from it, clearly, by picking up being a magical fighter. So they kind of just take that anger and give it to the enemies who are trying to stop whatever, Faye's weapon of choice is boomerang daggers, 3 for each hand. I didn't draw all 3 just because they all look the same, so I just, bam. I tossed around the idea of switching Eli and Faye's weapons multiple times, and I still sometimes do that in my head on accident, but I think these weapons will make more sense for later ordeals in the story. Just this one scene in specific. Anyways, also, I just think Faye would look sick as hell throwing daggers. I don't know, it's just very swag of them. As for their design notes, their old design, throw it away. It's gross. I hate it. It can go in the trash with Eli's. I hate it, but I did keep the mullet kind of look with their hair. I kept, the overalls from their old design for a while until I drew them with a different design, their different civilian design, and I was like, I like that better. Get the design away from me. It's gross. It's, Faye's design is actually my least favorite design both ways, like their old design and like their new one. It needs work. I like their magical fighter design. It's just their civilian design needs work. I didn't warm up before I drew the reference sheet, so it kind of looks a little bit bad. It's fine. We'll move on. And my voice cracked. Last but not least is Aya. Aya is only 9 or 10 years old and uses she, her pronouns. Aya is a very young magical girl, and there's also a reason for this, but I slapped my leg for that drumroll. You guessed it. It's a spoiler for later. It's a big spoiler for later topics brought up in the story. I'm sorry. Though Aya is an introvert, she's very chipper and, like, preppy. She loves to talk about her interests and loves to make new friends. I guess you could call her, like, what is it, like an ambivert? I don't know. But her being a louder type of introvert actually gets her bullied pretty bad. But I don't think she would have to worry about that very much, because I assume she would pull the card of, oh yeah, well, my friends can kick your ass. And then Faye would show up at, like, school, and then everyone on the team would have to drag them away and stop them from fighting a group of 9-year-olds. I think that, I don't know, I feel like that's very them. Aya lives with her dad, and her home life is pretty basic. Aya's mom is still in the picture, but her mom and dad are divorced, so she only sees her mom on the weekends. Her parents are still very close, and they both care about Aya a lot, so Aya's home life is pretty okay. Aya and Eli knew each other before because Eli was Aya's babysitter when her parents were away. This worked as Eli's get away from home operation, and they both just loved it. It was Eli's get away from home and Aya's I get to do whatever the fuck I want because Eli is the coolest ever. So, yeah. And when Eli found out that Aya was also a magical girl, Eli didn't take it very well because you don't really want a child on the front lines because you never really know what could happen. I can't wait to write that scene. It's gonna be great. I'll probably cry. Aya looks up to Darcy and Eli a lot, and she says she wants to be as strong as them one day. That's like her whole goal, is to be like the leader of a magical girl team and like fight bad guys and all of the things. Aya's weapon of choice is, well, not really choice, it's kind of, anyways, it's a shield, and that she can throw like a Captain America style, and it will come back to her. Much like Faye's daggers, a lot of boomerang-esque things going on in this team. I imagine that Aya wants nothing more than to protect her friends, so her having a shield, I think is very in character and very perfect for her. Her design notes, nothing about her really changed when I first designed her. I guess I changed the fact that she doesn't wear her school uniform all the time. I think that's what it was before. And also I changed the school uniform design, so whatever. For her role design, I kept the braids. I made her more timid and more, she's very straightforward. She's a very straightforward character. And a little fun fact that I feel like mentioning, I don't know why, is that she's ambidextrous. So if you ever see me draw doodles on her arms, it's because she's ambidextrous and she has ADHD. So she will just draw all the time. And that's the team. Wow. That is a lot. And that is not even all of the info I want to put out there for the world to see. So guess what? I'm making multiple videos on this series. This is just part 1. I don't know how many I'm gonna have in total. But yeah, I hope you're ready for that. This video is kind of just like all over the place because the story is fairly new. It's only like a year and a half old and I'm still working on it. It's, I don't know, I'm having a good time. I really enjoy writing this and I think about them all the time. And I'm constantly thinking about new ideas and yeah. Okay, that should be it. And I will see you all when I see you. Bye.